2.
And yeah, we're live.
We're live. Okay. Well, it's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a little while, but
Welcome back.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So what's going on tonight, man?
Well, it's a bit of a different one. We're going in with a stick review today, and it's a really special one. I've been really looking forward to this. How do you want to tell the story?
So Harry sent me we both were camping over the weekend, weekend before last, and was it last weekend? Last weekend, that's flown by. And while we were out there, Harry said, "I've just joined a cigar lounge chat, and they're great. And do you want to drop you an invite? You'll think you'll like it." So he did, and they're good guys on there, aren't they? They're really cool. And one of the things they have on there is raffles that they do for charity. So they'll raffle off a box of cigars or something, or a nice cigar or whatever it is, but then they sell the tickets and then they offer the tickets up, draw it online, so you can view the draw, and and away you go. So I bought a ticket. We got an offer for a particular box of cigars. And I took a look at them, and I'd tried one of theirs over the weekend before, and loved it. So thought, right, I'm going in on that one. Let's go for it. So picked up a ticket for 14 quid, and I only went and bloody won. Yeah. So what we're reviewing is, I'll put that down so I don't drop it and make a mess of it and cry. We've got some. Let's see if I can show it up on the camera. So that's David and Goliath. Tabernacle.
Yeah.
So
from Foundation Cigars.
From Foundation.
And if I may, just let me bring the fourth wall for a minute and just show you the band art. Is that coming up?
It's coming up. Yeah.
Love that band art.
Just amazing.
Biblical in like the Ethiopian style.
Yeah. So David there getting to do the old choppy.
Yeah.
On one of the few last Nephilim on the planet.
Yeah. Post-Diluvian Nephilim.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had one of the Robustos over the weekend, and with the one with Haile Selassie on, and it was just out of this world. The construction, the taste, that Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, just everything about it was just a top cigar. It's a top stick for me. For that money, it's just blinding.
Yeah. Well, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. No.
But I mean, I did have from Foundation the Charter Oak,
right,
which is Connecticut broadleaf wrapper as well. I haven't had the Tabernacle to compare it to, but it was rich. It was like earthy and coffee and chocolate. It was nice.
Big time. Really, I got a big coffee and chocolate bomb off the
I bet
off the Robusto, and my goodness me, if that wasn't one of the biggest kicks for vitamin N, it was a proper beast.
Yeah.
And the wrapper itself, it's so dark, it's almost black. I mean, which for Connecticut, I was like, wow, that's But that broadleaf, man, it's all about the broadleaf.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So small but perfectly formed.
Yeah, well, it's perfecto. Yeah,
it's a perfecto.
So it's the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper.
Yeah.
And then I believe that the filler is Mexican San Andres.
Right.
So that's another chocolate bomb.
Yeah.
That's dark chocolate, and then I think the binder is a mix of Honduran and Nicaraguan.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
So. I mean, with the Connecticut broadleaf and the San Andres filler, good lord. I think it's set to be a full-bodied, rich smoke.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, the smell in the box and just a
dry draw.
Just like a cold sniff.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Tightest draw, straight out of the package, and they're packed nice.
They pack, but we
in a pyramid.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sick.
Yeah, they were packed in the pyramid. Yeah. And we did go for the V-cut.
Yeah.
So, in an attempt to, as much as possible, maintain the taper of the Figurado. So, we're going to see how that goes with the draw.
Yeah. We may come back with a straight cut.
Yeah, we may adjust.
We'll see how it goes.
But and we got Bullet to to go with it.
To wash it down.
Yeah, absolutely. So
here we go. Also got a bit of new hardware to talk about, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've got some new hardware, so it's not all going to be about sticks tonight. We've got a little bit
we mix it in
on our home turf, which is all about the Nordin, all about the new Nordin stick that I've got, and yeah, we've got some stuff going off with your. You've got a new.
I got a new pipe
as well.
A couple of new blends to talk about. We're
going to sign on the browser to get the chat up and running.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so just while Dion's doing that, I'll just show off my new piece, which is, I don't believe I showed it off yet, but it's my newest pipe. I've had it for a few months now, but it's a Chacon Sabli spigot. So you can see it's got the metal ferrule there, and it's a spigot mount. So you can, the great thing about that, being similar to an army mount, is that you can disassemble it at any time. Right. You haven't got to worry about like the heat.
Yeah, it's warping or anything.
Warping the tenon or anything. It's a metal. It's metal on metal, and then it comes with a stinger, which normally I hate. Because normally a stinger.
What is a stinger?
So a stinger is like a metal. They call it a filter, but it's not really a filter. I mean, I think it came into fashion in sort of like around the 50s, 60s. Considered a bit of a gimmick. Basically, it was like a metal piece that either fits into the tenon or screws into the tenon. And normally what it's got is like this like little metal sphere on the end. The idea being that the moisture condenses around it, and it traps the moisture.
So it's like a kind of like an internal sort of humidome type.
Yes.
What the humidome does for a Falcon,
exactly.
The stinger does for this kind of mouthpiece.
But basically, I've never heard people speak well of them. Yeah. They tend to just like mess up the draw and make it all swampy. But this, it doesn't have the sphere on the end. It's just like a little bit of a spiral kind of thing going on, and it's drilled straight through. So not only did it not restrict the draw, but it just tightened it up a touch, just nice.
Yeah.
And it does keep the moisture in there. So if I ever feel this getting bubbly, you can just pull it out and just give it the old blow through.
That's a good shout.
And so I've really been enjoying this pipe.
That's great. That's great. I know you're a big rustic fan, big rusticated fan.
I am.
Beautiful aesthetics. It's got a real look to it.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's
Savinelli-ish, in terms of like design.
I mean, compared to some of the other pieces I've got, even the Savinelli pieces, it's a bit more slimmed down.
Yeah.
It's a bit less robust, but like more elegant. I like it. I like the shape of it.
Acrylic stem?
It is acrylic.
Yeah,
it is acrylic, yeah.
It's a nice one though, particularly nice.
It is nice, yeah.
Yeah, lovely pipe. So before I get stuck into the old stick, before we light up, I'll show what I picked up. So
lovely pipe.
I got one on the mind last time, and I ended up with a Peterson and a Meerschaum, and I'm very pleased with both. Both cracking pipes, the Dracula 01 and the Star Meerschaum that I picked up. But I've never since been able to quite. Oh, do you know what? I get a bit of money, I'm going to pick up a Nordin freehand. So that's exactly what I did. Went and picked up one of these. This is one of the smooth raw briar. So yes, it's seasoned, but it's not finished. There is no finish to the wood, to the briar. Hand cut vulcanite stem, which isn't like an army mat or anything, but it's just. Remember me when I showed you the Malvern that I picked up, the Blake Mar? I said, they've nicked it on the inside. It doesn't look right, and then I realised that it's to allow it to slip, so you don't get any suction on the when you're popping the mouthpiece back in. So this is exactly the same. It's got a slightly elongated nick out of the bottom end, and it fits so easy. And the vulcanite, the hand cut vulcanite stem is cracking. It's really, really nice. I've not really done anything with it other than just stick a few balls through it, and it's caked really quite. It's already starting to cake quite nicely. There was no finish on it. It was pure. It looked the same on the inside as it did on the outside. But yeah, this is one of his signatures, and yeah, it's a beauty. It's big. I mean, I have to pack heavy. I mean, it can go in like half bowls, but I've just been packing it and smoking it.
And I mean, it's the first time I've seen it in person, but I know you sent a picture and you received it, and it's really darkened up in that time. It's not been that long.
It hasn't. No, I've only put maybe half a dozen bowls through, and I guess some of that's from handling it.
Yeah.
But you're looking around the stem here. That's not from handling it. That's because I don't really tend to handle it around the stem. I'll handle it around the bowl.
Course,
yeah. But it's not. But even that's kind of coloured really well as well. And the thing I really loved about it was like how it fits in the hand. So that's just naturally very ergonomic. Just fits my thumb really easy as a righty. But if I'm a lefty, there's a really nice nick, like just there, just the right place. It just fits the hand really well. So yes, it's big. Yes, it's chunky. Can't really clench with it. Kind of a little bit, but obviously it's quite heavy and it's very bent. But it's one for the hand.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're really good looking pipes. They're really like Tolkien-esque. I think.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, please just punch with that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So I think without further ado,
yeah.
And guys, I'm really sorry if we're not on the chat tonight because I've got the chat open, but it's not ticking along too nicely. I don't know if we're quite. I'm not quite sure if we're quite working on the chat yet, but we'll pick it up afterwards if need be.
Yeah, let me double check. Let me see what's going on with the chat.
I'll have a little bit of bullet just to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if I go from the old personal account and see how it looks from the outside.
Yeah, that may be the move. Streamlabs has gone a bit wacky.
Yeah. So I can see that we're live.
Okay.
And it looks like, oh yeah, so we're getting it through.
Okay.
Good evening, Adam.
There we go.
Thank you for joining us, man.
So we are working. That's good.
Yeah, you've caught us for the
perfect timing
for the light.
Yeah. So, still torching the end to just toast.
I've got to be honest. Lately, I've just been giving it the cold flame.
Have you?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I find that there's less of a burnt taste when I do that. That's just me.
Let's do it. Do you want some matchwood?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is what the remnants of my box of Cohibas.
Yeah, the old cedar wood.
Was it 2010? 2010 Cohibas that I had, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. 2010.
2010.
Right. Good Lord.
First impressions. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So the drawer is nice.
It is. It's perfect.
Yeah. With the V cut.
With the V cut.
And I don't know about you, but I think just like straight off the bat, chocolate. Yeah. Sweet, dark chocolate.
Yeah. I was thinking, the stuff like you get, like the New World chocolate with like chili. It's got a bit of it, or like a bit of savouriness to it.
Definitely.
Or like mole. That's kind of what I got me like pork mole.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, definitely a little bit of spice there, a little bit of black pepper.
But in no way overpowering.
Not a pepper bomb for sure. Yeah, I think that's
Out-
gonna
out
that's
of
gonna
this world.
settle into be
Out of this
lovely
world.
smoke. So we'll check up on that.
I think this is my first perfecto as well. Actually,
Really?
I think because it's normally I'll go for a Toro or a Robusto. I think this would be the first perfecto that I've had.
So like the first like tapered stick. Yeah.
Different, different experience.
I've had a few. I mean, generally speaking, so like if I'm right, when a stick is tapered, it falls under the umbrella of figurado,
Right.
which means shaped in Spanish,
Okay.
basically.
Like figure.
Yeah. And I don't. I guess in general, I would get like a non-figurado. I mean, they tend to be a bit more expensive, obviously, because it takes more skill to roll them.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Well, actually, can you just talk a little bit about the taper again, man? Because you spoke to me about this a little bit. So I was on about Lanceros. That was what I was smoking quite regularly. And you said, "Oh, it's nice picking with a Lancero because you've got a more wrapper per filler."
Exactly,
in terms of
yeah.
ratio. And then you mentioned about the taper. Like, oh, it made a load of sense to me. So
Yeah.
what's that about?
So like you can imagine that as the ring gauge, basically the diameter of the cigar becomes larger, the ratio of wrapper to binder and filler it gets less.
Right.
Obviously per puff, let's say.
Yeah.
So, but the wrapper is generally one of the bigger, if not like the largest, component in the taste profile of the blend. So you may have one stick, one blend, because a cigar is a blend. Like we talk about pipe blends,
Right.
but a cigar is a blend as well. It's a blend of 3 tobaccos, which is the filler, the binder, which is like the sub wrapper, if you like,
Yeah.
and then the wrapper
itself. Yeah.
So you may have one blend in a variety of vitolas, which is vitola means like size and shape.
Okay.
So Robusto, Toro,
Yeah.
Perfecto, whatever, and then so people will say, "Oh, I like that stick in the Lancero," or "I liked it in the Robusto, not so much in the Gordo or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's because like the different sizes play into how much of the wrapper you're getting in the when you smoke. So the benefit behind the taper in the Figurado is that even with sort of a larger ring gauge, it's narrowing down towards the end, and it's concentrating the smoke a bit more.
Yeah.
So even with a larger ring gauge, because it's tapered towards the end, you're getting a bit more of an intensity of flavour.
Wrapper effect.
Yeah, exactly. So you can compensate for that, lesser ratio of wrapper.
I suppose the trade-off is, like you say, it's more skill to roll one.
Yeah, which means you're paying a premium for that.
Yeah. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's the first one I've had. In fact, the other one that I had over the weekend was the straight Robusto. It was still good. How do we go about touching up for a cold flame? Same process.
Well, I would for the for touching up, go with a torch for sure, because you can be a lot more surgical with the torch.
Yeah.
But just for that initial light up, I just find that if you a softer, less lower temperature flame, it just prevents a bit of a burn.
Yeah.
I know some people like to light up with, but just for me personally, but yeah, still touch up with the
torch.
With the torch, because you can be more, exactly. You can be more surgical with that. So on the retro hail, coming in with a Colombia, maybe even like a sweet coffee like that Las Palomas Costa Rican coffee, like a sweet espresso, like a little Cuban cafecito.
I got just a little nick on that because I did a little cheeky retro ale as well. I got just a little nick of like molasses, or like really dark brown sugar, just
Blackstrap.
tiny,
Definitely, these are beautiful. We'll check back in. We got bearded
Kenishon.
Greetings from Tennessee.
Oh,
glad to see you guys back. Oh man, thank you for joining us.
Great to have you
from all the way over there. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Happy tea day yesterday. Listen, you boys got a lot more to worry about than a bit of pricey tea these days, aren't you? And by the sounds of it, so have we now. But yeah, no, all joking aside, I hope you had a good day yesterday.
Yeah,
great to have you with us, and it's always good to have some boys from the deep south, some good old boys with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was smoking Burley in honour of the Americans last night because Burley is for me. It's the American pipe tobacco.
It's the king, isn't it?
It's the the king. It's for me. It's the king of the varieties, and it's also emblematic of American pipe tobacco. Yeah. Now over here, we seem to like Virginias. Yeah. Now, obviously, Virginia is the backbone of pretty much any pipe blend, and a good Virginia can be very good. I love a full Virginia flake.
Yeah.
I love a best brown flake.
Yeah.
But nothing tops those dark US Burleys.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and in our blends, when we get the Burleys, we're not getting those US Burleys. We're getting like African Burleys.
Yeah, Malawi.
Malawi Burleys.
Yeah.
Even in the Peterson.
In the 3P.
Yeah,
that's
and
Malawi as well,
and in the Irish cask, also known as Irish oak, we're getting those Thailand Burleys, which I didn't even know Thailand really grew tobacco. No. So.
Maybe one of the Peterson guys, maybe gone on holiday. I don't know what they're doing out there. I don't want to know. It's fine. Hey, listen, we've all done passport bros. I don't know how they do these things, but good luck to you. But we told straight away as soon as we got hold of some C&D, and we got some of the Burley in their blends. Lord,
it was a game changer.
It was next. It was different gravy, wasn't it?
And
their Burley's different gravy.
And you know what, we both of us had the Old Joe Krantz, and we had the Haunted Bookshop, which are sister blends. As far as I can understand, they're basically sister blends. It's essentially the same blend, except for the Burleys in the Old Joe Krantz are dark Burleys,
right?
And the Burleys in the Haunted Bookshop are white Burleys.
It's night and day, innit?
For me, it's like
it's night and day.
Yeah,
we've still got some OJK left. I'm quite pleased about it because they've run out. I was going to put an order. If we put an order in, we'll not say where.
No.
Because not doing too well. White Rose Boys.
White Rose Boys. Is that Yorkshire or Lancashire?
White Rose. It's the White Rose. But Yorkshire. What a lad. We've got the Phoenician on with us. Good lad.
The Phoenician.
Yeah.
Like as in Lebanon.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. It's all good.
Good
wine.
Yeah, great wine.
Old wine.
A lot of old monasteries.
Wine. Yeah.
Obviously, Cedars of Lebanon mentioned in the Psalms.
Right. That was the thing. That's an aside for you. One of the things that crops up is like one of the things I love about this cigar forum that we're on at the minute is like it's like every day's a learning day for me. Like I listen up to it because I really don't know kind of jack about sticks. Nowhere near as much as you do, and certainly like nowhere near. Love a stick.
Absolutely.
But it's about shutting up and listening, which is I've always found quite difficult. But one of the guys had said about cedar, and that there was a certain type of cedar that they said, it's not really, it's described as cedar, but it's not really cedar. It's a type of mahogany.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. I said unless I think it was Spanish. Or again, I can't remember. It's not what it used to be. I'm getting old now.
I think I saw this because he mentioned that he bought Spanish cedar and then it came from Amazon and it said like made in China. Spanish cedar made in China.
Wait a minute. But yeah, so I found that quite interesting. But yeah, cedar that we're using to light up, I guess.
Yeah. In Newstead Abbey, Lord Byron's old gaff. There's a Lebanese cedar in there.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, speaking of the Psalms. King David.
It's the Lord's sticks.
Yeah.
These are the Lord's sticks.
And it's a bit like serendipitous because I read the story of David and to my son.
And so did I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. Kairos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know how like Goliath talking it big. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna feed you to the vultures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feed you to the beast. And he's like, no, you got it wrong.
To this kid.
Yeah, exactly.
This little boy.
Yeah. He's like a little shepherd boy. He's like, no, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to feed you to the birds and the vultures. I'm going to feed you to the beasts. And then, and before that, I'm gonna de-headify you.
Yeah. With your own implement, right? Because he didn't have his
one.
Own. Yeah.
And I think like
got some little stones. Yeah. What are you gonna do with them?
Yeah. They're real smooth, like. Yeah, man. And then he deals with him. And then,
but what was about it was like he didn't talk smack at all. It was like he basically said everything to Goliath. What Goliath said to him, he said, "Yeah, I'm going to do all that, and then I'm going to do that,
yeah,
and I'm going to do it without any armor, and I'm going to do it without a particular implement. I'm going to use yours."
He basically said, "No, you."
Yeah. Takes what I know. What?
No, you. I know you are. What? But what am I? Tu quoque in the Latin.
And Nephilim says what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that is quite spooky. Here we go. Adam, there he is, the man himself. It was Adam that had dropped the stuff with the cedar. So there we go.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks, Adam, because I tell you what, that was a lesson.
Yeah, a lesson, a good tip. Yeah, thank you for joining us, by the way.
To this bearded dimwit, and yeah, and thanks for getting us on the group, man. It's really good. It's really good. It's kind of weird when I dialed on this morning. There was all the stuff about the mafiosos. That was pretty interesting.
The good fellas in there.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. Right, I've got a visitor. So Ari, you can hold the fort while I
I'll hold the fort.
While I straighten up.
So yeah, I've got a little story. So recently, just to switch back over to pipe tobacco, I've been a fan for a long time of the Goliath Hogarth brown flake, unscented, right? And I really loved the burleys in that. Mainly, that was like, for me, that was the draw of the blend. I was like, can't get hold of those American burleys that I love so much, but this is an English blend that I can get hold of regularly, and I really love the burleys in it. Now, it came in the unscented and the scented. Now, I had tried the Goliath Hogarth Dark Flake scented, and boy, that was soapy for me. I was finna wash the dishes with that flake. So the other day, in a bit of a rush to hit the, before midday when they stopped sending the post out, I ordered what I believe was the brown flake unscented. And then when I got the email back and I checked it a couple of hours later when I was less busy, I realised that I'd ordered the scented. I was like, oh. So it was about 2:00 at this point, and I called up and I was like, look, I ordered the scented. I didn't mean to. I meant to order the unscented. And she was like, we sent your package out now. But she was like, look, try it. If you don't like it, you can send it back out. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll give it a try. And you know what? I've got it in the pipe now. I was smoking it on the way over, and there's no soap in it. There's no soap, so there's none of that like gross little soapy mouthfeel. But what there is a lovely like rosewater scent. It's like a scent of because not to get too fruity here, boys, but I have been known to use a rosewater facial toner. Because it's good for the skin. It's a little bit astringent. And it smells great. And
this is why Ari looks great now. That's why I look. I've just been dragged out.
Rosewater, apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Facial toner.
Right.
Believe that. Shea butter for the moisturiser. Coffee scrub for the exfoliation, and that's my skincare routine.
This is it.
Every night that is. But yeah, so there's a lovely rose, but there's also they say that they put a fig scent in there, and you know what? I get it. I get the fig scent.
So I always kind of consider them like as great summertime smokes. The scented flakes.
Exactly.
Ennerdale, anything with a topping on for summertime, it's just love it. With a cider.
You're absolutely right, man. The cider and even it really complements like an espresso or like a mocha pot, like a strong coffee, like the rose, the floral rose with the. It's like. I'm not a fan of Turkish Delight, but it's reminiscent of Turkish Delight. But less, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Like, do you like the fries?
I can eat fries. Yeah, I can eat fries.
For me, it's.
I shouldn't. Everything about it, even the names, is just like, no, don't do it, Dion. But I must admit, I do quite like it. But yeah, it does remind me a bit of that.
Yeah, but it's got the fig as well, and it's like this rich, like slightly citrusy, but fairly dark fruit kind of a sweetness. And it really, I think the reason I really noticed it is because the other day I made like a fig and goat's cheese and prosciutto.
Oh, prosciutto.
Yeah, salad.
So good.
And I think that it reawoke the flavours in it when I'm eating it. But basically, long story short, it's a great. I'm kind of glad that it was a happy accident, to quote Bob Ross.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Blessed memory.
The lad, absolute lad.
I shouldn't say that. Memory eternal.
Memory eternal.
So yeah, I'm kind of glad, and I've got a bit less than 50 grams to smoke and enjoy. And like you said, great summertime smoke.
Yeah,
the floral flavour is really evocative of the summer.
So Davies, where I go for the snuff, the cigar and snuff parlour in Covent Garden, they do their own version of it, and they were a little bit. I won't go as far as to say naughty. They have a good selection of sticks as well. Actually, tiny little place, great selection of snuff, great selection of different baccies, but only a few classic English blends, and they describe them as the classic English ribbon cut, which is kind of a bit like the My Mix. I find that to be a bit like the My Mix with a little bit of, it's basically it's Virginia, a little bit of Burley and some Latakia in there. So a bit kind of squadron leadery, a bit sweeter than the squadron leader. It's got a bit of something else in there that just kind of sweetens it up a bit sort of honey kind of tones in there. And then they do a cabbies mixture, which is, I really like their cabbies mix. Again, really nice. Great when it's been jarred.
Yeah. By the way, just on a quick tangent, GQ has got cabbies mix back in. Goliath cabbies mix in loose, not in the tins, in loose, but whatever. It's back in stock, so yeah.
Love a few spicy rolls.
Yeah.
Can't beat that spun stuff. And then they'd also got, they just describe it as a classic English flake, and they just describe the Virginia end. I think there might be a little bit of Burley in that, but it's mainly Virginia. And they never said anything about the topping.
No.
And I picked some up, and I think we've actually reviewed it on a cast, and it's even more Ennerdale than Ennerdale, right? It's an absolute whopper, but and it was a little bit overpowering. I did get quite soapy, but as it got jarred, and over time, that got a really nice smoke. That was really good, and it was. So one of the things that was so great about it is, and again, I think Goliath is the same for this. We get a lot of guys stateside who say it's swamp stuff. It's so wet, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, overly moist, yeah.
But our stupid, mental, wacky weather means if you're smoking it outside, if you haven't got that moisture in, you light up and it's just gone. Right? If I've got American blends in the pipe and I'm smoking at the waterside fishing, it burns so hot because of the wind,
right?
And it's gone because of our damp climate and windy, which obviously up in the northwest of England, it's all like that, right? It prevents it from burning too quick, so you don't basically have to worry too much about packing it. Just whack it straight in, give it a quick blast to get it started, and it burns really good, and it doesn't burn quick like the drier stuff does. So it's there for a reason. Yeah,
definitely. And yeah, get some criticism for that, but like we said before, there is a trade-off between flavour, which comes with moisture,
right?
Let's be honest, and enjoyability of the smoke. Because obviously, if the flake is too wet, it's going to be a challenge to keep it burning, and it's probably going to come in hot. There's going to be a lot of steam. Yeah. Obviously, if it's too dry, it's going to rip through.
Yeah.
So,
certain pipes will take care of that, though. No, I mean, I was getting the Jermaine Stark flake in there, the brown flake in there, and I found that to be quite a moist flake as well.
It is.
But you rub that out really well, so I'll rub that to a ribbon consistency. So I'll rub it really, really well, and got that in the new Briar, and it just sucked all the moisture out of that. I mean, it just dealt with the moisture straight away, no problem. But it's the thick bowl, it's heavy.
Yeah.
It draws all the stuff out of it. It's chunky. The walls on it are
really thick walls on that.
Yeah. So I mean, half-inch thick walls.
I'm just looking at the Nordian side by side with the Peterson Dracula,
which is also a big stick. A big piece of hardware.
Yeah, but thinner walls.
But much thinner.
I can see that it's thinner walls. Yeah. And I've got to imagine those thicker walls are doing something to take care of the heat.
Right. Yeah. And the moisture.
Yeah.
Crucially, the moisture.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very porous. With it just being raw briar, it just sucks it all out there. And the meerschaum the same. The meerschaum deals with moisture really, really well. No
I bet.
problem.
Yeah, I've never tried meerschaum yet. But yeah, that's one that I would like to get a meerschaum pipe at some point.
Yeah.
So we're coming to about
third.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of the first third, aren't we? And it's kept its ash really well.
Yeah, that's good.
And
construction wise, I mean, I had to give it just the tiniest of touch ups, but like it's like since that it's been bang on.
I think the pepper has really died down.
It's mellowed, yeah.
Definitely mellowed out. And definitely some like leather coming in.
Yeah.
Some leather. Still the chocolate.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is coming from the San Andres. And definitely to the wrapper to some degree.
Of course.
But just like that pleasant, subtle bitterness of like a dark chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Like a high percentage of cacao.
Yeah.
Now, just a word on bands, because like if you're new to cigars, some people ask about the bands. So personally, I like to keep them on. One, because it looks dope. And two, basically, you can like crack your wrapper if you try and pull a band off cold.
Yeah.
But if you've been drawing heat through the stick, as the cherry gets closer to the band, it does do a little bit to loosen up the glue on the band. So I can see that's coming off quite nice now. So I might just take off the sub stick there.
Yeah, I did that.
And I got a bit more space.
But cracking band, the band wrapper's even more sick than the. I mean, it's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing as the as on the box art, but it's got the halo there and like this radiant halo, which looks absolutely immense.
Yeah, and you can see on either side like the cherubim.
Oh yeah.
Which would obviously have been, as we know from scripture, on the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Because it's the tabernacle.
Yeah. Right.
So it's the where the obviously the tablets.
That's right. Yeah.
Were kept. Yeah. And so and obviously this is the just to get into a bit of theology. It's the the scriptural Old Testament basis for iconography, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So people will say people might have have a go at the iconography.
Yeah.
But we can see that in the Old Testament, we had iconography. Images.
Yeah.
And in the Temple of Solomon.
Yeah.
We know, and I believe it's Solomon when he's getting visions of like heavenly worship.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Read,
holy. Yeah.
We read that there are images.
Yeah.
In the temple.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great shout. But yeah, and that's kind of when you said, I'm going to go pick a stick up this weekend. They're just like, oh, what are you going for? Like, I don't know. Might go with tabernacle. It's like, do it. And I look like it's just this picture of Chad Haile Selassie. I'm like,
in his imperial
regalia,
looking just sick. Every inch the emperor.
Yeah.
And obviously the connection being that it is tradition that the tabernacle is in Ethiopia.
Right.
I think Axum.
That's right.
I want to say it's there's a certain cathedral. I think it's in Axum where the claim is made that they have the Ark of the Covenant.
And did they name check? It was to do with the I can never remember the saint's name that Philip evangelized. They were in the they were in the chariot together.
The Ethiopian eunuch.
Yeah.
One of the earliest converts.
That's
to,
right.
And obviously as Eastern Orthodox, we aren't in communion with the Oriental Church, the non-Chalcedonian.
But it's close.
But it's very close, and I think the Christology is very close, but it's distinct enough that obviously our hierarchs saw fit to draw a distinction.
Yeah.
So I'm not for me to argue that, but one of probably the oldest Christian nation. Or Armenia is the...
They claim to the oldest church, I think, don't they? The Armenians.
Well, Saint Gregory the Illuminator, and I believe he is one of our saints too, brought Christianity to the king. Can't remember the king's name, but there's a story where the king rejected him and he became like a feral pig thing.
Yeah.
And then he repented and he was able to, he baptized Armenia.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is way pre-schism, so. But yeah, I had an exam on this at uni.
Right.
Yeah, I did a module on Armenia.
Oh man, I bet it was wicked.
It was great.
I bet it was really good.
It was honestly great. I wasn't a Christian at the time, but it was really illuminating.
And you kind of think where they are geographically. It's like 1 foot in Asia, like sort of Asia Minor, and 1 foot in like Slavic countries. Like it's right on near the Black Sea, isn't it, or on the Black Sea, I think.
Yeah, but I believe they have got Black Sea coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's sort of like you say, it's Asia Minor. It's kind of Europe. It's kind of Asia. It's kind of like Christian Iran.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of watermelons.
No, definitely not. So, Adam says, as a non-pipe smoker, any recommendations on a decent, cheap starter pipe?
Oh,
yeah, man, get a corn cob pipe by Missouri Meerschaum.
Yeah.
Very, very cheap, and they're just an excellent smoke. Really high quality smoke.
So we describe them as the good time girl.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter how long it's been left.
Yeah.
It doesn't need any maintenance, really. You can just pick it up straight out of the box. It smokes well. No messing around. It'll look after. It's very porous because it's made out of literally like corn husk, right?
Yeah.
So it's very porous. So everything that you want with a smoke, it's got to be dry. It's got to be cool. It'll do all that for you. So just like Meerschaum does, it looks after the heat, looks after the moisture. So does the old corn cob material. Thanks, man. And they're not a lot of money, are they? I mean, they're just not. They're no money at all. Oh, I mean, he's landlocked. Okay, there we go.
Oh, well,
shows my geographical knowledge. There. Thanks, man.
The Phoenician educating us.
He's come through. He's come through and educated us. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
This is why I'm not a geographician.
By the way, just a quick aside, a nice cone on the ash there, which is a sign of good construction. Yeah, but yeah, thank you, Phoenician. I mean, you would know being the Phoenician,
right?
So to Adam, the corn cob pipe is what I would recommend to any starter. Now, if you didn't fancy the corn cob and you didn't mind paying a bit more, I would say Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon, you can get a Falcon you get a stem and ball for 30 quid. And like we've said before in older streams, very beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Very forgiving.
Yeah.
Hard to pack wrong.
Yeah.
And also because of the so Adam, they've got what's called a humidome, which is basically like this small dome. The ball screws off, right, and underneath the threads of the ball is like this small sink where the smoke can collect. And you can put a little ring of cut off pipe cleaner in there, and that soaks up the moisture. But also that little sink gives the smoke time to cool down, and so you're not gonna get what we call tongue bite.
Yeah.
So as cigar smokers, we don't have to worry about tongue bite. But as pipe smokers, if the smoke is coming in hot, you can burn your tongue and the roof of your mouth. But the Falcon really takes care of that.
Deals with it. The other thing as well it does, because it cools it down, the other thing you don't want vapour. So even if you're not smoking hot, if that smoke's wet, you're going to get steam, and the steam is going to give you tongue bite as well. It's going to burn your mouth, or scald your mouth. That just takes care of it. And it all collects all the gunk. The other thing you don't want either is dottle. So you don't want the liquid that comes out of the combustion process, because it tastes minging.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how nice your backy is, that dottle's going to taste grim. And you don't really want to be smoking that. You don't want to be tasting that when you want to taste your smoke. You don't want to be tasting dottle.
Yeah.
Deals with that as well.
And as well, Adam, if if you can let us know what sort of flavour profiles you like, maybe what kind of sticks you like, we might be able to point you in the direction of a good blend.
Yeah, that's a
Or
good shout.
a good couple of blends to try.
Other good benefit about corn cob.
Yeah.
Which is only a few quid.
So cheap. I mean, you can get like a country gentleman for like a £5, I believe. So, really, the payoff with the cheaper corn cobs is that they don't have a hardwood plug at the bottom. I don't have a corn cob to show you. No, I'm lying.
Which is the other beauty of them. You can just chuck them in your bag.
Yeah.
If you're rounded about and you just you want to perfect.
So this is I believe it's called Tom Boone. So it's got
like a big acorn.
Yeah, it's got underneath a hardwood plug. A bit hard to see there, but basically it makes it a bit more durable. Some of the cheaper ones don't have the hardwood plug, and they're prone to burning out a little bit quicker. But they're a disposable pipe, basically. Yeah. You're not worrying about longevity with them. And then the other thing is plastic stems.
Yeah.
Which aren't so nice on the old chompers, but you can, for a little bit more, let's say 20-25 quid, you can get an acrylic stem, which is a bit better quality, a bit nicer in the mouth, and again, more durable.
You get a rubber bit stick on the end.
That's the other thing.
You're fine, aren't you?
Rubber bits on the end.
Bite through.
Yeah. The Phoenician says, to lower the tone, my name is actually a reference to Warhammer.
Oh!
But I do find Near Eastern history interesting, though.
There we go.
Early Christian Armenia included. Oh, very cool, man. Very cool. Me too. Like I just said, I kind of covered that in my history degree at uni.
Another 40k fan.
Yeah, I don't know much about. Do you know what the Phoenician is reference to?
It's one of the Primarchs, and I can't remember which one it is. He's gonna come through and tell me. I want to say, is it Rogel Dawn? He's described as the Phoenician, which basically he's proper based. He's proper. If it is Rogel Dawn. But yeah, I can't remember. Right. But yeah, another big 40k fan.
I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but from what I understand, obviously Lebanese Arabs. But when we say Arab, really the thing that unites the Arabs as an ethnic group is the language.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, even ethnic and depending on how you define ethnicity, ethnic and cultural difference among the Arab world. So I believe that the Lebanese who choose to sort of distance themselves from the dominant Arab religion, kind of refer to themselves as Phoenicia. That's their heritage, like Phoenicia. And obviously, we know about the Phoenicians who joined the Spartans at Thermopylae.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Fulgrim.
Fulgrim.
Jonathan Saunders, great to see you lads. Second the corn cob or falcon for a beginner or next. Absolutely. I mean, as a, the falcon, always enjoyable to go back to, and the corn cob, always enjoy. Like we said, there's a lot of. I think there's a deep satisfaction about mastering a briar pipe, and being able to consistently get a good smoke out of a briar pipe. Yeah. But also just the. You've got an aromatic, a bit of autumn evening, a bit of Goliath rum flake, and you want to really bring out the topping or the casing, corn cob or falcon, great for that.
Yeah, spot on.
Also love estate pipes. I've had some cheap estate pipes that smoke like higher end pipes. That's
a good shout. That's a good shout. And I was going to mention about basket pipes as well. If you can pick up a decent briar, if you wanted to kind of just try a couple of briars out. You can sometimes do quite well with a basket pipe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna straight cut
this. Do you know what I was just about to say? The drawer on mine has really opened up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open up that cut a little bit, and it's cut because of the great construction. It's really taken a second.
Although I've had a little chomp on the end there to try and to get it going, but it's great.
I think that was just the ticket. Yeah, so I have not bought any estate pipes, but so Jonathan, tell us what you make of the Dunhills, because I mean I always look at the Dunhills.
One day, she will be mine.
Exactly.
Oh yes.
I look at the price tag on them, and I think so. You'll have to let us know, Jonathan. Are they worth the price tag? Are the Dunhills worth the price tag?
Yeah.
Like if you were to buy a new Dunhill?
I keep looking at the white spot.
Mm.
Yeah. But it's like 300 quid. It's like, oh.
I know. And if I could be convinced that the Dunhill is really worth it, I do think I would. Yeah. So now, just as an aside, the Danish Pipe Shop, which is an online, supplier, they do have a scheme where any pipe over 200 euros, I believe, they do like a layaway kind of finance plan thing.
Yeah.
So it could be like a move. Yeah.
That's a shout.
Good evening from Marcus Renner. Good evening, Marcus. Thank you for joining us.
Good to have you.
I think Dion's just removed his band, and I'm just getting to the band here, so I'm going to remove it too.
Just to reiterate, man, like look at that for ashing. Like I touched that once.
Yeah, good inch of ash on there, and just to say, lovely even draw all the way around.
Yeah.
Now, not to bag on foundation, but my Charter Oak did canoe a little bit.
Did it?
It did, but this has burned absolutely.
This is proper.
And superior construction.
Yeah.
Superior flavour. I've loved this stick. Absolutely loved it so far, man.
I mean, the sticks I've had sticks before. Like the first time I had a stick was when I was away in Cuba, and I'd we had some Romeo and Julietas, some R&Js, and they were pretty good at the time. So that would have been 2008. I think it was the first time we went away there.
Pre-Hong Kong takeover.
Right, and that was my where they got the box of Cohibas on the second run, which would have been 2010. And they were great, like beautiful flavours. But you mentioned about the quality of the construction of the New World sticks. And okay, so those were old sticks that I got. I mean, they were looked after, reasonably well looked after. I mean, okay, I've not got like a spenny humidor or anything. It was as good as it was going to get. But they didn't burn to anywhere near the same kind of construction as the New World sticks did.
Bro, yeah, I mean, it's getting a bit of a meme at this point, but the New Worlds really are knocking out of the park in terms of construction and just, I mean, look, the Cuban taste is unique.
Yeah.
No getting around that.
Yeah.
It's unique. It's delicate. It's very just unique.
Yeah.
There's just and it's lovely.
And it's still kind of the yardstick to judge a stick by, and like when we got the AJs, they were like the New Worlds and the Dorados are like, oh yeah, it's got Cuban.
It's got a bit of a Cuban-esque.
Yeah.
When we can all, But do you know what? Like a lot of these boys like fled from Cuba.
Yeah.
And they brought seeds.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't got the soil.
Sand.
They haven't got the, like Abel Fernandez of AJ Fernandez, Cuban, and he makes
a good stick,
great sticks,
for the money.
beautiful sticks. But for me, I think even if price weren't an issue, I just love the flavours that the Nicaraguan tobacco is bringing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Absolutely. Marcus says, enjoy the cigars. Thank you, brother.
Germany lost the quarters.
Oh no.
Well, I said it was whoever's going to win. We're looking at finalists here, so I think I think that's we're probably looking at Spain to win it and probably go on and win it, unless we do. We're not going to win it.
I got to be honest. I'm not a huge football fan. I'm not really following it.
Bread and circus, right? But yeah, thanks, man, for this. We most certainly thanks for coming on, and we most certainly are enjoying these sticks. These are great.
Yeah.
So in terms of the in terms of sort of the New World, going back to the New World stuff. So like from what I think was my birthday, you brought me round one of the. It was a Honduran.
Yeah.
It was the.
It was Oscar Valladares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really into them, and you said, "Oh, why don't you try the Lanceros, bro? Because they're great. Less time, so it's a shorter smoke, but really really nice, and I really loved them. And I had a couple of real stinkers. I had a couple of real stinkers
in
terms of construction. One that mouse holed quite badly, that I got from John Hollingsworth in Birmingham, and then another one that I got from Mitchell's in Sheffield, and that didn't burn particularly well either. And you went back recently and said, look, you get a bad stick, let us know, and we'll sort it.
Yeah, exactly. I was told. So big up to Mitchell's Wine of Sheffield.
Bless you.
Thank you, man. Bit of smoke up the old nose. Yeah, Mitchell's of Sheffield. Big up to Mitchell's of Sheffield. Yeah, we were told bad burn. Not that that's a common occurrence or anything.
No.
But we were told bad burn, bring it back, and we'll replace the stick.
Yeah, which is
I mean, the downside of that being that you have to put the stick down and return it.
It's like when they say you've eaten the steak. It's like eat all the steak. Like, yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah. I'm not enjoying this.
This is bad. This is bad. I didn't enjoy any of it. I had to smoke it all just to make sure it was bad. But yeah, and they're a good bunch in there. You know, like turn up, very knowledgeable, aren't they?
Knowledgeable, friendly, good selection, classy place. Smells of
rich mahogany.
It does.
It does.
You walk in and you smell the wood of the humidor, and it's like,
And I want to say, like, they've kind of stacked their selection out even more since, haven't they? And like,
they have. They're always getting stuff in.
It wouldn't surprise me if that whole back end is just going to turn up into like a massive humidor.
Yeah, and they've recently built like a little walk-in humidor for the Cubans.
Yeah.
Very classy joint.
Yeah.
And I will say as well, they've had a few new things in. They've got in the factory smokes from Drew Estate, which are the budget line. Now I've seen the Americans talking about these. Oh, not bad for a $3 steak. Now
shut up.
Now over here, you're paying like 15 quid for them.
You can't get through the door for $3.
So 5 times the price.
Yeah.
Now I haven't tried them yet, but the Americans are saying that they're great, especially for the price point. Obviously, we haven't got the same price point, but
what we have got is the Olivas, though.
We've got the Olivas.
They brought them in fairly recently, haven't they? They're a fairly recent addition.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I love the V series.
These are great.
I love the V series, and even more so, I love the V Milanios.
Yeah.
With the aged tobacco, and you really taste that age on them. Yeah. You really do.
Well, even because I was kind of kicking my heels. I wanted just a cheap stick. I wasn't really going anywhere. I just wanted something to have a bit of a drink with, watch a bit of Sopranos, and having a chat with one of the lasses there, and she said, "Have you tried the O? Tried the O series?" Like, no, not recently. Yeah, it's the budget series, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a try? And I'll tell you what, man, for the money, they are outstanding.
You pointed me onto the O, and I did the same sort of thing. Yeah. I think it was like a Saturday night. It
was either that or Hoya. That was going to be it was either one or the other.
Yeah. You turned me onto that, and I really enjoyed that O. I believe it was a double Robusto,
right,
or a double Corona, something like that. Nothing particularly complex, but the flavours were good. It was very enjoyable. But you know what I will say, in Mitchell's, and I'm sure it's a similar price point at other places, the Charter Oak that I smoked, for a Coronet. I'm not sure what the ring gauge. I think it was 5 inches.
30, quite thin, aren't they?
Bit thicker than a 30, but it was 12 quid.
That's good.
And for 12 quid,
that's good.
For the flavour profiles, like I said, a bit of a burn issue, but nothing heinous.
No showstopper.
Yeah. It was great. It was great.
Man, these are great.
Yeah.
These are great. So these are going. I got asked on the chat. Oh, we sell us a couple, but so those who kind of dial on quite regularly to our casts, is that this is basically the only bit of enjoyment that me and Harry get. So we've got, and I'd kind of smoked the last 2 sticks in my private stash. So I'm looking at all these guys on this chat who've got like their own humidors.
I know.
They've just got like rows of different smells. I'd cut my arm off for some of that.
I know. Like, you see a lot of guys, and it's particularly like, I go on the cigars on forum on Reddit, and obviously the internet is American. You're mainly talking to Americans on the internet, and obviously their prices are a lot better. They're not taxed nearly as much as we are, and they've got these huge collections that I'm so jealous of. But even over here, we're looking at some of the English guys that've got great collections, and I buy things and smoke them.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I know. That's it. I can't buy it to look at.
No.
I buy it and smoke it.
I'm smoking them.
Yeah. That's it. So I said to H, I feel really bad because, like, you know, I've kind of got these at a bit of a knockdown, but these are our private reserve. So these are going in the
private
in the box. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I collect pipes. Pipes is my thing. Jonathan said, treated myself to a white spot in 2018. It's a Shell Bry, okay, billiard.
Yeah.
Love it, beautiful smoker, and they were actually much better up until the early 60s.
Okay.
Right, okay,
So
so
you get an old
quality's
one.
dropped off
Yeah.
since the 60s.
See if you can pick an old one up.
So in the States, 60s, yeah.
Well, do you know what's put me off by ever buying an old pipe? It was that bloody story
The horror
about
story.
the horror story about buying an old
Which I haven't
meerschaum
listened
pipe.
to yet.
Man, it's really good. But basically this guy picks up. So this was on our last cast. But yeah, he basically picks up inherits or he buys an estate. This guy's is quite coined in. Buys this estate, and in this estate is there's a really nice selection of old pipes.
Right.
And one of them in particular is this meerschaum pipe. He's like, I'm going to clean it out and smoke it. He cleans it out, smokes it, and he goes a bit nuts.
Yeah.
So it goes south quite quick. So it just put me off. And also the other thing he said was like, never smoke another man's pipe. I'm like, yeah, there's a kind of a bit to that. But I don't know if I do manage to find an old school Dunhill, I'm on that with bells on.
And Jonathan says that his 80s Peterson pipes definitely smoke better than the new Peterson.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I've heard that the old QC, the old quality control on the new Petersons has dropped off a little bit.
Yeah.
Particularly with drilling.
Ah, that's a
So,
shame. Man.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Never had a problem with that with the Drac. Although what I did notice on them was the finish is starting to come off where I hold it quite regularly.
Right.
On the Dracula it bubbled up a little bit. That high gloss finish bubbled up a little bit, but I mean it's not. You can't really tell that much. And I don't mind kind of things wearing in. You know, I'm kind of a big fan. Same with guitars. You know, you get like belt rash and like it starts to look and it gets a bit chipped. But it's yours. It's kind of a bit of character. But in terms of like construction quality, like drilling and that's no good.
Yeah, I've got two Petersons. I've got an Aaron, like you have, which is kind of like the, like the
sort of entry range.
The standard, the entry range. And I've got one of the Christmas pipes as well, which is an army mount, and I do like that, but that's a big pipe. It's not a clencher, and it's a big pipe, so you're settling in for a long smoke when you light that up. But I do like that pipe. It's a good looking pipe.
Cracker. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is nice. And I've never seen that particular range of Christmas pipes. They've done them since, and they've never really kind of looked as nice as that one that you got. Obviously,
they're bringing them out every year, and I've got to imagine that they're struggling for designs. But Savin Alley Christmas pipes are lovely. Yeah. They did one recently, a couple of years ago, that was like it was supposed to be evocative of like a Christmas tree. It was like a bit of a dark green, like a forest green finish, and then like a bit of a lighter green flecked with white acrylic stem. They were good looking pipes. They call them the St. Nicholas as well, which is pretty cool.
Based.
Yeah, very based.
So yeah, it's interesting. Because I had the offer of a couple of second-hand pipes on the Pipe and Pint, Orthodox Pipe and Pint channel on Facebook, and one of those was a Nordin freehand. I'm like, oh, Shani's like, I've only had a couple of smokes through it, and I was like, I can't do it.
No, and
I'm pleased I didn't now, because like this has been worn in by me, for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like natural briar, it's been cut, it's been seasoned. There's no finish. I finished this pipe.
Yeah, and I think that the only time that I wouldn't have any hang-ups about smoking another man's pipe if it was my father's.
Right, if it's passed down.
And to that end, I do intend to leave my collection to my son.
100%, yeah.
Whether he wants to smoke them or not, that's up to him.
Well, I think getting you backy by that point or not is another thing entirely.
I know.
We might have to start growing, so we might start turning into the witch around here.
Yeah, yeah.
I love thee marvellous well, my lad. Fetch thee my musket, son.
Yeah, that great film, that great flick. Robert Eggers did The Northman.
That's right.
And The Lighthouse.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Very Jungian film, The Lighthouse. But I enjoyed The Northman a lot.
Yeah, man, it's a cracking film.
Yeah,
he's in a good state. I'm down to the last third on this, man, and I tell you what, the draw is really good.
Yeah, man,
it's holding up really well.
I clipped off the V cut, and I'm glad I did because it opened up the draw quite a bit. And I do think that it's a bit of a continuation of the second third. The pepper is pretty much gone, and what it is just a lovely, sweet chocolate. Still some leather, and a little bit of espresso.
Yeah.
But it's been absolutely fantastic, start to finish. I mean, from the first light, the first puff that I took, full of flavour. And look, I don't love a pepper bomb, but I don't mind a bit of black pepper.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
get it started.
It's par for the course with Nicaraguan tobacco.
Yeah.
And so I like a bit of pepper. I don't mind a bit of pepper, but
as long as it's not overpowering.
Mm.
If it's overpowering, it's just going to ruin the smoke.
Yeah. So.
And that molasses for me is coming through a bit more on the last third now.
Yeah, so I'm
sweetening up.
It's very sweet. So I'm thinking of.
Bless you.
Thank you. There's a certain Joya de Nicaragua stick that I don't love. It's a rosado wrapper.
That's right.
Like rose pink wrapper. So it's like a very reddish kind of wrapper. But for me, it was very peppery from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I didn't love that about it. Not to knock Joya, but just that particular stick. That's an example of a pepper bomb for me. But
because that cabinetta, man, like for the money, like it's unreal.
The cabinet is great, and unfortunately it was discontinued. But they have done a limited release of Lanceros.
Have they?
And Mitchell's have got some.
Oh.
Yeah. So it might be a good idea to snap some of those up.
That's the move then.
Yeah.
I might have to go. So I'm gonna keep. I said to you before this, I was like, what am I gonna do with my old box? Because he keeps seeing them going off for some. It's like, no, I'll keep it. Like that's the move. Yeah. Pick it up for stuff that I'm not smoking. It's gonna take an effort though. Got gargantuan. But at that money, I can maybe buy a couple.
Yeah.
Smoke one in the night. Stick one in the box.
Yeah. Exactly.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Grab my pipe and pull the stick out for another night.
Speaking of old sticks I've smoked though, I mean, I'm thinking about the Dorados.
Yeah.
The AJ New World Dorados, and I got one for Christmas. My mum got me one for Christmas. She got me a few cigars actually. One of them was the Dorado Toro there, and I watched it while I was watching this film. It's not been out long. It was a 2023 film. It's called Beau is Afraid. It's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's a really weird film, but I do like the director. And it's a weird film. I would recommend. It's a long film. I would recommend the watch. But I was smoking the cigar while I was watching it, the Dorado, and there's a scene where there's a Mariah Carey song playing. Yeah, it's
Singing Mommy.
Yeah, Songbird Mommy, and it's Always Be My Baby. And whenever I hear that song, I can taste Dorado in my mouth. Honey, citrus. A little bit of pepper, but mainly that honey and citrus, like that lemon, orange peel, and sweet honey.
Oh man, that sounds
which
great.
is another Mariah Carey song.
I bet she likes a steak. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, but I think that's probably the move for me. I thought these are going away in the private stash, and then I'll pick a couple up just to kind of just for.
Yeah, man.
For the odd occasion.
I mean, that's a lovely. I'm just going to show that again.
But
I
am absolutely red pilled now on Tabernacles now, man. I think that as a range, I think it's great.
Definitely, man. And
that's two I've had now, two different ones, and man, the quality is just so good.
Excellent quality, and they'll be great in that box. And the only thing
we're not sponsored, by the way, but also
we're open to it.
I didn't want to do it. They came around with a dumping truck full of cigars. I'm not made of stone.
I would just say, man, this is just me. Next time you're at Mitchell's, get a Boveda pack.
Right.
72%, I would say. Yeah. Chuck it in there.
Yeah. Came with one.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go then.
Lads.
Yeah, good lads.
And that was from Cigars. I think was who sold the.
Oh really?
The pack, yeah.
I've bought from them in the past.
Good.
Yeah. I think back in Father's Day of probably like 18.
Yeah.
I think it was my first Father's Day that I was a father.
Yeah.
I got a. It was a Placencia. It wasn't the original Reserva, but it was like. Because I'm a bit of a hippie, and I go in for like the organic stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, are there any organic cigars? and it was like, oh yeah, Placencia grows organic tobacco. I was like, oh well, I'll try that. And it was like, it was a 15 quid stick. I think it was like a Toro, and it was great. Yeah.
Again, pretty good. Placencia, like pretty good reputation.
Placencia are great.
Yeah.
Placencia are absolutely great. And I remember my last birthday when we watched Silence, another great Scorsese film.
Yeah.
And we were in the living room, and I was smoking at Alma de Fuerte.
Yeah.
Which I believe means strong mother.
Strong, yeah.
Or mother of strength, or something like that.
Mary?
Yeah, maybe. But it was great. It was really good. Raisiny, dark fruity, sweet. Little bit of pepper in there.
Yeah.
Great stick. I would recommend Placencia. I don't love the original Reserva. It's a little bit too mild for me, a little bit, but it's a decent stick. It's good. Like I would say, it's like a good breakfast cigar.
Yeah, who doesn't love a cigar for breakfast?
Yeah,
steak and eggs in a cigar.
Exactly. But this is an evening after a heavy meal kind of a cigar.
Yeah. Steak for dinner.
Yeah.
Little bit of the old rye or some bourbon.
Yeah, man.
And away you go.
I mean, earlier I did Jersey roll potatoes because they're in season right now.
Yeah.
With some avocado oil.
Nice.
Infused with rosemary, garlic, and thyme.
Yeah.
And I crisped those up in the infused oil, and it was like, what fasting? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that sounds amazing. We've only got another week left, less than a week. So Jonathan says, not an expert, but it has something to do with older pipes being broken in better, even though they're being renamed and cleaned. Like the wood, it smokes much drier. Yeah, I guess so, and also it's been caked.
I can see that, and I can also imagine that older briar is just probably a better quality.
Probably, and maybe the older Baccy as well. You know, like the older strains of tobacco, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, we know that a lot of the traditionally English blends, they getting made in like Denmark, Sweden, Poland in some cases.
Yeah.
So the blends aren't what they used to be for sure.
And some of the guys that said, because we managed to get hold of some St Bruno that was left for us. For a guy who reposed not ever so long ago, who very kindly, or his estate very kindly, donated 3 packs of modern Mac Baron St Bruno.
Yes,
and so we're all about old lads back here, like Condor. Yeah. And all the guys who were on about, the older backies, it's like they were great back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely, and memory eternal to that fellow.
Right,
absolutely. Was it Ernie? That rings a bell. Yeah. Ernie, memory eternal, Ernie. Yeah, definitely. And this is why I think it's really important for you guys. If there's any Americans, any stateside listening, I'm not meat riding, okay, but you've got something really good going on there. You've got something really good going on, and we used to have it, and now we don't have it.
Yeah.
But you got something really good going on. You've got great tobacco, great blends,
good whiskey,
good whiskey, and you're not taxed to high heaven. You've got a great thing going on, and I respect that. And
maybe what would we chuck into the sea? Because obviously it's not tea now. What we're going to chuck into the sea? We're going to have to hit them somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah. What would we do?
What would we chuck into the sea? I don't know what these kids what they go into. That. Adrenochrome? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't chuck the kids into the sea. No. We're going to use them. It's a thing.
Yeah. So we're both coming to the last third of this.
Oh, it's cracking smoke.
And it's just occurred to me, I've not purged this once.
I just give a last little nibble, but like no touch-ups.
No. Yeah, 0 touch-ups and 0 purges. Now, just if anyone is listening that doesn't know what a purge is. So a purge is when so you would be smoking a cigar, and there's certain like byproducts of the smoke, the tar and whatnot that are building up in the stick. And what you would do is you would take. I'm not going to do it because I've got a lot of ash on. I tend to do it after I ash. you would take a soft flame and you would hold it to the end of the cigar and you would blow through it, and you know when it's working because the flame will elongate like a flamethrower, and you're purging those byproducts.
Yeah.
And what it will do is it will take bitterness out of the smoke and it will sweeten it back up. Particularly for longer smokes, you'll find someone do that. But I've got to say, I have not found myself needing to do that. It's not even occurred to me to purge it.
That's good, man. And not the kind of thing that we have to worry about with a pipe, because again, it just takes care of it.
Exactly. And I would say just a word on ash too. So obviously people, when you see people smoking cigarettes, they're ashing all the time. You know, like every few puffs, ash. With a cigar, you generally don't want to ash too frequently. I mean, if you and it's a sign of quality construction if you can get a long ash.
Yeah.
So there's a good inch and a bit of ash on there, which is a good sign. But the ash has an insulating effect on the burn, so you're cooling down the smoke, which is good. Yeah. And I think to a certain degree you get that in a pipe as well.
Right.
A little bit of ash on top is good to insulate the cherry. You don't want too much ash because it can get choke it, and you will get a bit of the ashy flavour. So if there's too much ash building up, I will tip the ash out. But a bit of ash is good, and particularly in a cigar, you don't want to be ashing all the time. Yeah. But then again, you don't want to be dropping ash on the floor as well. Right. So be sensible. If you feel like the ash is getting a bit too long, a little bit of tap.
Oh, say floor, I mean, like it's going straight on my crotch. Especially if you're driving. It's about like that. Knew it was going to happen.
Clowned on YouTube.
Commentators curse. But yeah, it's always going to happen. And the other thing as well that I spotted on the chat on the WhatsApp group was a couple of guys who like to just cut off the end of their cigars.
All right.
When they're done smoking, they'll keep the nubs, keep the backy, and then stick it in a pipe.
Bro, I do that.
And you said that, yeah.
I do that. I've been doing that. I call it the coup de grace.
The coup de grace, and that may end up being a thing with these.
I do it. I mean, I've in my disgusting, grody smoke chamber, which is my garage.
Oh man, it's great.
Yeah, I've got an ashtray because I've got a couple of sofas in there, and I've got the ashtray on the arm, and I've just got nub after nub, and I tend to. So, I come home from work, generally speaking, hit the gym, I come home, I eat my meal for the day, and then I have a smoke. That's my general routine. And if I've smoked my pipe and I feel like I could have a little bit more of a smoke, what I'll do is I'll get some rodeo, Goliath rodeo, which is sort of their budget kind of burly blend,
flake,
and I'll just crumble a nub into there, and it's great.
Was it the pensioners mix? That used to be like it was kind of like the offcuts of like different flakes, different stuff, and they just kind of pile it all together.
Exactly, yeah.
And it used to be cheap and cheerful.
Yeah, and they put a bit of a topping on it, that was. But obviously now because of tax, it costs the same as any other blend. Yeah. There's a blend in America. I think it's called Grand Croupier. So you can imagine the croupier at the casino just scooping all the chips in. So obviously that's what they're doing with the tobacco. But they'll
be knocking everybody's dick in, all right.
Yeah. But they'll separate it into like this is burley cut-offs. Yeah. This is like English Latakia cut-offs and such. So, and they're cheaper. Yeah. They are cheaper because obviously like different tax laws. So yeah. In the US they are actually cheaper. So I feel like we've been given a lot of love to America on the stream.
It's kind of 4th of July stuff though, I guess. So you're welcome. Just think about us. Prayers for old England, for old Blighty. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. When I was asking you about bourbon, because I was always like a big Scotch guy. I used to drink quite a lot of Scotch, and I think,
I love
a Scotch. Couldn't really tell the difference between a good bourbon, but I probably still can't tell the difference between a good bourbon and a great bourbon. But you red pilled me a lot
on bourbon,
on bourbon, and there is something like that sweetness with a stick, man. It's next level.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, for me, pipe or cigar, I love my black coffee. Yeah. With either, but particularly with a cigar, it really elevates the experience if you've got a nice bourbon or a whiskey or scotch with it. But yeah, man, I like a scotch, but I've not had a scotch for a while. I'm like, I love the bourbon.
Yeah.
And but like I said a while ago, Tesco, which is a UK supermarket, has got a couple of the more hardest to find bourbons. They've got Elijah Craig in there.
Have they?
They've got Elijah Craig, yeah. So I think maybe that would be a thing if we get a bottle of the Elijah Craig. And
I think we had rye on last time, didn't we? Got to get some Woodford Reserve rye on last time, and that was nice.
But yeah, one Christmas, a couple of Christmases ago, I got for Christmas the Knob Creek.
That's right.
9 year, which was absolutely great.
Yeah, that was cracking.
And of course, as well, the 2 Christmases in a row, I've had the 10-year Whistle Pig Rye, which I absolutely loved. Anthony, Bourbon Neophyte, so
right.
he didn't love that one, but I love that one.
So that's maybe on the list as well. But hard to get for us. I mean, like, it's all right for the guys in stateside. They can go and head down to the liquor store, go and pick themselves a nice bottle of rye up off the shelf for like what?
Yeah.
$5, $6, $10.
Yeah.
Like we're paying like 30 quid probably for a decent.
But as Call the Wall says, the whiskey bottle costs $32, but the big Prairie Moon's free.
But we ain't coyotes, are we? That's the problem. Man gets high on a bottle of rye and
Can't get drunk on the moon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, some of the more like arcane bourbons that I'd like to try, Elijah Craig, which is within our grasp now. Probably Four Roses.
Yeah.
Pappy Van Winkle. I have tried some of the Whistle Pig. Eagle Rare. I think Morrison's has got Eagle Rare.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's worth a blast.
Mm.
But yeah, verdict on the Davids, man. What a stick.
Beautiful.
And we've been going for just about an hour, I reckon. What are we on for? An hour and 21.
Wow.
So this
Perfectos have been going for nigh on 90 minutes.
Right. That's pretty heavy duty, man.
Yeah.
For a small stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the things, I mean, I'm quite a quick smoker, and it always burns my mouth. And I always smoke too quick. Don't say I'm a chugger. And I don't feel like I've kind of like gone easy on this one. I've kind of gobbled it up, but it's an hour and 21, and it's like still going strong. I've still got like a little bit left.
Yeah, fantastic, man. so imagine the hours in that box.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's good time. That's time well invested.
And do you know what? I actually burnt my mouth last night because I was smoking. I got a sample of Peterson's Special Cut, which, because of our Skittles laws, is no longer called Nutty Cut. I believe it's we're not allowed anything that sounds like food in case you eat the tobacco. I believe in America it's still called Nutty Cut. So it's Virginia, Burley, Black Cavendish, topped with coconut and macadamia.
Oh man, that sounds
and
lit.
It is as nice as it sounds. It's not heavily cased, but you do get that oily macadamia, coconutty on the retrohale particularly. It's a decent, but it burnt my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I burnt my mouth, and we're supposed to be sampling the cigars. But you know what? By God's grace, it cleared up.
It's gone. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I know what you said about tongue bite, like smoking Burley afterwards. Like it's like Dr. Tobacco, right?
I've always said that.
Just treats it.
I've always said that. Yeah. Burley just seems to have this cooling kind of effect, and I also think that red wine, kind of does it as well. If it's a day when you can have some wine. I
wonder if that's the tannins.
Maybe
at work.
Maybe it's just got like a soothing effect. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's all good. Okay, good. Well, I think that's pretty much the chat dried up. So look, we're going to finish the rest of these sticks. Not finish the rest of them sticks, but finish the rest of this stick. And finish the rest of our bourbon. And talk will become a bit more spicy, I think, probably as the night wears on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, man, it's been great.
I just want to say that these are Dion stick. He's donated this smoke to me. Extremely generous. Really grateful. I've loved it start to finish, man.
Good.
Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to enjoy this knob, and I'll probably save the number.
Yeah,
I'll smoke the
I'm
number.
going to do the same. Yeah, that's a good move.
So
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully we'll. As summer kind of wears on, we'll be on it a bit more regularly. I know we said that last time, but life's got in the way. But we will.
Yeah, I know. We've promised a bit more regularity, and we've not been on it so much. But we are both. I mean, not to make it cute, but we are both family men. We've both got kids, and it's hard to.
It's time in it.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. It comes down to
time well invested.
But like Dion said, we love this.
Yeah.
We love being able to do this. We love setting aside the time to do this and talking to you, talking to each other, smoking with each other. We love it.
You can always smoke in my pub.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Green Dragon. It's always open. You can always smoke, so it's all good. So thanks for joining us. We'll